Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
In this segment, we would be seeing how to use a mnemonic to recall key points of an answer. Now, what is a mnemonic? Mnemonic is nothing but a memory aid which will help you to remember the key points of an answer and retrieve it at a later date. Mnemonic is very personal. So, for an answer, ideally each one would come up with a different mnemonic. It can be a sentence, it can be a phrase, or it can be a word also. But for convenience sake, it is better that all the students in the class have the same mnemonic, because it is easier for the teacher to revise with that particular mnemonic. This is a simple para about New Stone Age. Let us see how we can use the technique of mnemonic to recall important points. So, the first thing we have to do is you underline the main verbs, which is used, started, invented, transported, made, sharpened and attached. So, I am just going to write the main verbs here: used, started, invented, transported, made, sharpened and attached. After you have written the main words separately, the next thing you have to do is underline the first letters. Okay. Now, I am going to write it down separately. Let us see whether we can form a word or a sentence or a phrase using the first letters of the verbs. So, the first four automatically falls into a word which is you sit, and instead of M, S, A, I am just going to reshuffle those words and write S, A, M, meaning Sam. Please note that it does not make any difference to the answer. There is no sequence involved. So, I can form a mnemonic and then fit the sentence to correlate with the mnemonic. So, the first thing is used, started, invented, transported. So, you sit. Instead of M, S, A, I am going to reshuffle and I have written it as Sam, because it is easier to remember a boy's name. So, the mnemonic that I am going to use here is you sit Sam. So, the mnemonic that fits into this answer would be you sit Sam. Now, using this mnemonic, learning has to be done. So, what is U? Used. What is S? Started. What is I? Invented. What is T? Transported. What is S and A? S and A goes together because he sharpened the tools and then attached those handles. So, S is sharpened and A is attached, and the last M is he made pots. Now, let us verbalize the whole answer. U, he used, polished, carved, sharp stone weapons. U, yes, sit, yes, he started to produce food. I, invented, he invented wheels. T is transported, he transported things from one place to another. Sam, sharpened weapons. A, attached them with handles made of stone and bone, and M, he made pots. So, the mnemonic is you sit Sam. You can come up with lot of other mnemonics. A few examples will be given. So, we just saw the first mnemonic you sit Sam, but as I have said, a same answer can have different mnemonic. So, some of the mnemonics that have come up with is missed USA, which is again a phrase, and there is a sentence, Meera is studying tax at USA, but as you can see the M, I, S have all been highlighted because those are the letters that make up the key points. So, M is he made pots, I is he invented wheel, S will be he started to produce food, T is he transported things from one place to another, U he used weapons, the first point, and then he sharpened and attached. So, if you are going to give a mnemonic in the form of a sentence, please highlight the letters which form the key words in that particular answer. Now, this is the way a mnemonic has to be done, and learning should be done using the mnemonic. In this segment, we are going to see how to learn using the tactile method. Tactile method uses the sense of touch to retrieve key points in an answer. This method is very useful to remember brief answers or answers with 5 or 6 points. So, how do we go about using the tactile method? The first thing you have to do is fix up the question words on your fingertips. Say for example, the thumb will have who or what, your forefinger will have doing what, your middle finger will have where, your ring finger will have when, and the little finger will have the question why, and your palm would have the question word how. Let me repeat it once more. Your thumb will have the question who or what, your forefinger will have the question doing what, your middle finger will have the question where, your ring finger might have the question when, and your little finger will have the question why, and your palm will have the question how. So, this is also called the 5 W's and 1 H method. We can also write the question words on the fingertips till the child is comfortable enough using them without actually seeing the question words, or instead of that we can also pictorially represent each question word. For example, who or what might always denote a noun, so I can always denote it using a stick figure. Doing what will always be an action, so if you can draw any action here. Where would be a place, so I can draw a small house or anything that represents a place. When would denote a time, so I can draw a face of a clock or a small calendar, and why can be represented using a question mark. Having fixed the question words on the fingertips, let us see how to use this to learn a small answer about why Evera was called the Vaikam Veerar. Whom are we talking about? Who or what? Evera. Doing what? What did he do? He fought for the upliftment of downtrodden. Where? Vaikam, which is a place in Kerala. There is no answer for when, there is no time or date. So, I am going to fold this finger up. Why? Because certain class of people were not allowed to enter the temple. And how did this all happen? He fought against the Travancore government and ultimately succeeded in his efforts. Now, when you are telling the answer for each of the question, use your free hand to gently squeeze or apply pressure on your fingertips. Let me demonstrate it. Whom are we talking about? Who or what? Evera. He fought for the upliftment of the downtrodden in Vaikam, which is a place in Kerala. There is no answer for when, so I am going to fold this up. Why? Because certain class of people were not allowed to enter into temples. And how did this all happen? He fought against the Travancore government and ultimately succeeded in his efforts. Now, let us put everything together in a form of a para. Evera fought for the upliftment of the downtrodden people in Vaikam, which is a place in Kerala. I am going to fold this finger. Certain class of people were not allowed to enter into temples. He fought against the Travancore government and ultimately succeeded in his efforts. So, this is how the tactile method of learning should be done to retrieve and recall an answer.